welcome. Episode 8 of Snagged. It's been a bit of a cold, quiet week fishing-wise, but here we are to give you what we've got. Let's get started. Any news? What's been happening?
Well, I think the most important part is welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Mate, big man.
Yeah, back to the cold weather. It was, not as cold where I came from.
Yeah, right on. What was the average temperature up there when you were fishing?
About 35.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was nice.
Heaps.
Bit of rain. The rain was nice. It was good. That's what we wanted. But yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. For those that don't know, I just got back from a trip in Darwin fishing with my old man and Andrew Pender. We got around the traps up there, hired a boat and did our own thing and managed to catch some good old fish. It was great.
Give us your top 3 highlights.
Oh, good question. Went up to Shady Camp, had a bit of fish up there. Took a heap of trout lures up there, which was always a good. Yeah, a bit shady plays that one.
Shady plays.
Got an 85 centimetre barra. That was pretty cool. On some lures I nicked off the shelf before I went up, which was kind of cool. So they were all on trout gear. That was pretty awesome. Lost a tea-leaf trevally to a absolutely massive shark boat side. Rock the boat. That was pretty cool.
On the big jobs.
And probably the other highlight was Pender and I were sitting at the pub one day after we got back, and we thought, there's no way, we've just had a shocking day. We've probably got about 40 fish, but up there that's not that much. And talking to all the locals, they pretty much all donated, and Pender and I smashed them. So
there you go.
that was kind of cool. So it was a good trip. Man, it was a good way to get away fishing with Pender. It was even better to catch up with my old man while I was travelling around Australia and catch up and go for a fish with him, because you never know how many opportunities you get away to do that sort of stuff. So that's kind of cool. That's it.
Yeah, right on. Good question, Dylan. I noticed your hair.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
And this square here. There's a that square up there.
Not up there. Nah, so pretty well much.
Hold on.
Nah.
That doesn't work out.
So pretty well much it's been a bit of a goal of mine to move down to Hobart. I don't know, just been up Lonnie for all my life, so all 20 years. And I don't know, like Hobart's just got so much more going for it, as well as the fishing side of it. Like Lonnie is relatively, like you don't have much in Lonnie. There's about trout if you're lucky.
You just offended all the northerners.
Yeah.
Well, no one does it. No one fishes really in the tail race, apart from you got about 3 people that will go down there throughout the year and just drop scallops and catch sea runners.
No, we've got to do what works, absolutely.
Apart from that, she's pretty quiet. But no, I've packed her up. I've made the move down Hobart. So, I mean,
full move in one day, you've done well.
Full move, basically. Packed her up Monday, and here we are. But yeah, so now I'm fully out of my own. I've got hardly any spots, so
that's right.
Fill me in. Give me like 3 good spots where
locally,
just around Hobart area.
Oh, look, dude, you need to figure out how to fish to do it. Yeah. That's going to be a crazy one for you. Get some good footage and stuff off there. You got the Huon estuary. That's or the river. Sorry, that's a massive thing. Heaps of bream, heaps of trout. That'd be a good one for you. And the kingfish shouldn't be too far off. Fingers crossed. And then probably start hitting Northwest Bay.
Yeah, that's going to be
the plan. That's it. Kingfish for 3 minutes from the boat ramp. So. But I'm sure we'll get plenty of that stuff going throughout the year. Fingers crossed, kingfish are not too far off. Well, hopefully we get this weather to fix itself. Now, another really super cool thing, you got a new product out.
Yes, so been working behind the scenes for these.
What are they called?
So they are the Fish Australia 75mm nymph head soft plastics. So what they are is they're like a paddle tail style soft plastics, but they're very thin. So they've got that nice wobble, whether you're slowly retrieving or like just letting that lure sink. Sometimes your plastics with your larger sort of style paddle tail will just like squeak up and just not fully do its thing. So yeah, we made them pretty thin because like I like to fish for me trevally and stuff like that up the East Coast, and I love fishing with you like sort of worm imitation, so like as thin as it gets. So made a thin style soft plastic, and they come in 5 colours. I've been fishing them a lot for trout recently, like crescent, Brady's chain and stuff like that, and have not had a single regret with them up there.
I thought there was much up there in the north.
Yeah, that's
in the middle.
I didn't know.
It's in the middle. It's coming down. It's coming down. But yeah, so pretty well much at the moment, the only place you can get them is at the Fisherman Shed or online at fishaustralia.com at the moment. But yeah, 5 colours of them. If you haven't got onto them, get over and have a look at them, because they've been getting me some of my better fish recently. Which,
well, I can tell you, I was lucky enough to get a few samples of these things before they hit the shelves, and we were fishing them up in the Bronte chain all around there with a couple of really inexperienced anglers. Took a few guys up to Laughing Jack, blowing about 40 knot winds, absolutely shocking weather. I put these things on for these guys. They were fishing around, and 3 guys, very inexperienced, all managed to get fish on these things. I didn't actually get any fish that day, probably because I wasn't fishing your lures. But I was impressed. The swimming action on the tail was absolutely off its head. The profile was good. What I really, really love, and I'm guessing that's why you call them nymph heads, the little detail where it's got those little tiny side fins that actually kick off from the side of the thing. So it actually helps that body roll a little bit through it. It's coming through the water. So, yeah, well done, man. They're good-looking plastic. I can see them honestly becoming the new olive pearl tea-tail of Tasmania, some of these things, black and golds, because they look great. The colours are awesome. You've got something for everything. So, well done. Congratulations.
And
Very good.
That's what I was going to say. There is a black and gold style colour. So, for all you trout geeks, which is about 75% of Tasmania.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one I love, which was this thing. What did you call this colour?
That is, well, it's on the back.
Oh, look at you go.
How's
Oh,
that
colour
smell?
chart. Whole colour chart on the back.
That smelt pattern's absolutely dynamite. That's going to be epic in the tour.
Spawn white bait, by the way.
Oh, that's spawn white bait. Cool.
They're relatively similar,
Oh, yeah, cool.
those two. But, yeah, we ran them off the same, tried to get colours that were relatively close to the hard bodies, the Fish Australia hard bodies. So we got 5 out of the 10 there. So, yeah, she's all go.
Now, have you got any deals or anything going for people?
So at the moment, when this get uploaded at fishaustralia.com, at the moment, if you buy one of each colour, you get a free beanie. But I think we're going to probably work on something.
Oh, we'll do something special for you.
Mm.
Hey, look, it's cold weather. Beanie will come in handy.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's do some reports. Freshwater. Over to you, Dino.
All right. Toby Norris bringing in the good stuff. Mountain River Fishing Well. There you go. Narrows it down.
And he was getting them on Celtas.
Celtas. The Celta style.
So I reckon Celtas are one of those lures, and for those that don't know, they're a little bit of wire with a little blade on it. When you're moving through, they just have an erratic action. They spin and spin and spin and spin. Like, it's not something that I use a lot, but it's one of those lures that when nothing else is working, for some reason, Celtas just seem to clean them up.
Yeah. 100% agree. Like in when I'd fish, like sort of your northern rivers, like creeks and stuff like that, you get your small size 1 or size 00 style blade. Black was a colour that I used to love. I don't know why, just that dull, and just literally all your creeks and stuff like that. Just little walk up, just bow and arrow cast it onto a tree and just wind, you'd be on.
Well, I think there's just so much movement in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it either irritates the fish or they just can't miss it because there's so much water going through that they just seem to smash them. Very good. What else we got? Justin Bloom in the northwest. I saw a picture of a trout he put up there. Absolutely fat bellied. You say, I think, very full of worms and stuff like that.
I think I did. Yeah, I think you're pushing it.
Well, I'll send you the photo, so you should probably have a look.
Yeah,
That's a definite hard yes.
I mean,
It's got a set of guts on it like me, mate.
I'll look at it. I'll see it when I'm editing because it'll probably be up here, or are we going to?
I reckon we got all this room up the top there, so let's just use that.
You're pushing it. You're pushing it.
Go and get.
What else we got? We got Arthur Whittick finally managed to land a decent sized Derwent Sea Runner. Can't relate. Although it's not massive, it still put up a great fight, jumping multiple times.
He says it's not great, but I'll tell you, that was a good fish. That's great. That young fella, that whole family are absolutely gun little fishermen, but he's been smashing the Derwent up, and it's all shore based too. So hats off to him. Have to get him out in the boat one day.
Might have to. Show me
how. Snagged Fishing Australia promo. Let's go.
There you go.
Jeremy Stokes popped in today, had a bit of a yak. For those that don't know, Jeremy Stokes has this awesome sauce brand called Stoked Hot Sauces. If you like a little bit of spice in your life, he's the man to talk to. We sell him here in the shop. Epic product. Locally grown chilies in his backyard, and I'm very impressed with them. I think I've given them to you a few times.
Oh, absolutely.
I almost floored you a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, I always return with an empty bottle.
That's exactly
I'm
right.
begging for more, mate. It's good stuff. It really is.
Yeah, it's Snagged with spice for you.
Absolutely.
Big Snagged with spice.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Jez was saying that although he hasn't had much time to get out because the weather's been absolutely atrocious, he did manage to get out for a quick little flick, and he was got a nice little trout down Mountain River. It's probably about the 4th report I've heard of. Not a lot of photos, but Jez has got one photo, so well done, Jeremy. A couple of little things. Had a few of the tackle rats come through the shop today. Browns River, I know we mentioned it a lot. It gets mentioned in reports absolutely anywhere you listen to a report, but Browns River has got to be, honestly, one of the best little land-based bream fisheries in Tasmania, if not Australia. One of the youngsters in this afternoon, it was coming in and bought a couple of your lures where you're actually. He got 17 there in one session, just fishing hard bodies and vibes on the bottom. So good job to that young fella, and all the other youngsters are down there smashing up. So I grew up fishing down there.
Yeah.
Probably where I caught my first brim on a hard body, which was an Ashley spinner. Believe it or not, my luckiest brim alive. I remember my old man saying, "Nah, they won't hit that, mate. They only hit bait." I thought, don't like being told what to do.
Of course.
And tell me I'm wrong. So I saw the challenge, little green and gold Ashley spinner under a tree. Boom! Thanks for coming.
So if you had a pearl of wisdom for the young clientele that got coming in here fishing about, what would it be the most essential piece of information you can give
for catching brim?
Oh, just fishing in general.
Oh, buy good lures.
Buy good lures.
Yeah, spend the money on your gear, which is a bit rich for me saying they go in a fishing tackle shop. But, you don't have to spend a fortune, but just buy decent lures. Fishing Australia, Liquid Gold, Atomics, stick to Shimano lures. Stick to good stuff. Figure out how they're feeding. If they're feeding on the bottom, there's no point fishing shallow diving lures. Fish vibes, fish plastics, cover them in scent. If they're not doing that, they're up in the shallows, fish hard bodies. Keep presenting what they want to feed on. So, yeah.
Get to know your differences.
Good one, boys.
Good one.
It's interesting point that you put out there about not liking to be proved wrong. I went through a pretty much similar thing.
I think it's a young man thing, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the Cataract Gorge in Lonnie, me and my dad used to always walk that because we lived relatively close to it. We'd walk up and down it, and I'd look at the river and I'd go, "There's got to be fishing there, Dad." And he'd just look at me and go, "No, just stop kidding yourself." And then, one day just went down there and just started to fish it, and that became the go-to spot for a bit there. Mm-hmm. But, moving on from that.
Fishing Australia Point, they like to call it now.
Oh, well,
you're not up in the northern, you're in southern.
Probably get burnt or something.
We've got a fresh six-pack
of
Cascade
last next time we go to Lonnie.
Yeah, started riot. Well, going on with the south stuff, Craigborn Dam, IFS has stocked 540 Atlantic salmon in there around the 1.2 kilo mark. When did you know?
It was multiple drops, so the one wasn't that. It was about a week ago. I think the one was about a week before that.
Yeah.
So those fish should probably starting to get a bit hungry and stuff like that. So I'm starting to get a little bit aggressive. So if you're going to go out there, as nice as the fancy lures are, sometimes black magic spoons, anything like that's got a lot of movement in it, like Selders, like we're talking about. But I remember growing up fishing Atlantics all the time. When the scapes come on, we just use bright spoons, kind of similar to what you were doing when you were up at Plimsoll, using that. Yeah. Just get those bright lures in front of them, annoy the hell out of them, keep them moving, cast, and eventually one will come unstuck.
Throw some rocks in the water, make them think it's feeding.
The old pellets, absolutely. It does work. What else we got here? Cool. I was talking to Big Andrew Pender, the man I went away fishing with. That, if you don't know Andrew is works for IMAS, lives and breathes fishing, makes Voyager lures, helped make the Liquid Gold lures. The man is a wealth of knowledge, and he'll happy to tell anyone anything you want to know. I just said to him, "Are any fishing reports?" And this is what he's given me. I'm just going to read this out. Little Pine will have heaps of fish in the shallows, but it's too high for tailors to be visible. He said Augusta should be going along with Arthurs and Woods. If people aren't using flyers, try unweighted Fishing Australia plastics. My light panda got a few samples to have a bit of a test with, and he was pretty impressed with them too. He said all the 3-inch Berkeley T-tails. So that's a bit of good advice. He said Great Lake is on the rise. He said not a tailor spot, but it should have plenty of fishing close around the southern rocky shores on the main lake. If people are sticking to Swan Bay area or Haddon's is probably most likely the best spots. Hard bodies worked right and close would be his first option, and the old technique of slow rolling, slow rising, jig, pause, nice big pause, 5-second pause, bit of jig, bit more roll, big pause. You got to have that pause.
Yeah. It's funny though. Like sometimes I go up the lakes and just can't get away from fishing it fast. Like sometimes you have your days where it'll just be like a slow retrieve, but like twitching it really fast. And younger on, when I'd fish like Hadsman and stuff like that, we'd find a rocky bank and we'd just like pretty well much a fast retrieve, just whipping the absolute crap out of it going across the rocks. But then, like you say, pauses and stuff like that. Sometimes in afters, I've had it where it's like you're just pausing the thing for like 10 seconds and they just jump on it right at the end. It's weird how some days, they just crack onto it. No matter how fast you wind, they'll get onto it. And some days they'll just be like, no, don't want anything unless it's sitting still and I get to look at it.
Yeah. I remember years and years ago, I was up fishing with one of the trout guys, Bob McKinley, many moons ago. And we were fishing tombs, and I was giving him a few fly lessons. I grew up fly fishing, but you can never learn too much. So he took me out there, gave me a few tips and tricks, and we were doing figure 8 strips of these flies. We do one big strip, and I was letting that fly sit there for about 20 seconds and started toweling them. Now, the old strip, it wasn't working. The big, super long pauses, and I was honestly 20 seconds. I remember I'd do these strips, and then I'd pause, and I'd always count to 20 seconds, and God, we absolutely annihilate them. But if you didn't have that big long pause, they weren't touching a thing.
Yeah, and it's funny like that. Like, obviously the brim, you usually fish relatively slow from, but like the amount of times I've been cast out on the bank and I've had a twitch and I've just sat it there, and then like I've had to move the electric and I'm playing around with the remote and then just looking at something else and I get sidetracked and then oh crap, I've got a fish, and it's been sitting there for half an hour on the bottom.
That's interesting. Cool. Now, any saltwater reports yet? Anything? Oh, there anyone that's been brave enough to get out there and do anything?
I haven't really seen anything. I mean, it was pretty well much a given Sunday when I was driving down when a patrol was getting 1 second I'd be straight the road, the next minute I'd be over here, the next minute I'd be over here. That you'd be pretty brave to go out the front and chase tuna and stuff like that. But
nothing major. I spoke to a friend of mine, Dean Martin's retired up in St Helens. What a place to retire. He was saying that they've been getting a Future Valley. He said that Australia has been pretty small, but there's been a few good ones sort of amongst them. He also mentioned the brim up in the Scamander and St Helens as well, where they've been fishing pretty well for the last month or so. But he said they're just starting to slow up. He said he reckons they're starting to go upriver and spawn. You know what they get like when they spawn and jump into a big old pile, and you can bounce lures over their backs. They're not even remotely interested in touching anything. You're always going to try to foul hook them. So that's one half decent report we've got. But apart from that, we haven't really had too much saltwater reports. But you know what? Grand finals this weekend. It'll be over. People got nothing to do on weekends now. Weather should hopefully get better. Time to go fishing.
No, it's meant to not be too bad Sunday, but I reckon there'll be some sore heads.
Yeah, you'll be right.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. Now, I'm going to steal your cooking report off you because I've got to tell people about a recipe.
You dirty
So, Bender and I were down at Dundee Beach in Darwin. Went out, got a heap of coral trout, some tricky snapper and stuff like that. But we made these coral trout burgers, and I got to tell you, these patties are about that thick. Simplest and easiest thing. Egg whites whipped, no yolks. Got to take the yolks out. You get the yolks when you're doing that. Bit of egg white, put these fillets in, the egg white, put them into panko crumbs, pressed them down, double dipped them back into that thing, back in the panko crumb. Honestly, mate, if you got this in a restaurant, you would have been off your head. Like, these things were amazing. Absolutely. So, these things were so big, Pender couldn't finish it.
Oh, my
That's it. So, that's it. It's apart from that. What else we got to tell people?
Tricky snapper, are they? Tricky to catch?
No, strangely enough, they're not. It was a funny thing because everyone was saying to us, don't bother with tricky snapper. They don't worry about them. But we filleted them, did like a burnt butter sauce over the top of them. They were amazing. I don't know what people like. And I think what we could figure out is that most of the fish we have up there when we caught and cooked barra and all the other stuff is that I don't know if they prefer a softer flesh up there. But the tricky snapper have a little bit of texture to it, probably not too dissimilar to a stripy texture. But we thought they were amazing. If anything, I don't want to say, and this is probably going to be controversial, I reckon the tricky snapper tasted better than the coral trout.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to tell you, a lot cheaper to buy, that's for sure.
It's interesting, though, like that, like, being around it, you sort of get over it sort of thing. Like, we obviously, our main inshore fish is trout. And I don't really like to eat trout that much.
No, I'm not here. I like smoking the things. But
it's like, you look at people that come from other places and they come and they try trout and they love it.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, you just get used to it and you've seen it done and you've caught them 1,000 times. It's like, I don't want to eat that. And then you just go somewhere else and like...
Unless you're strong fishing. You always take the strawberries over for a bit. They're too good.
Bit difference from trout to strawberries.
Oh, absolutely. Slightly different flavour for sure. Well, guys, I think that's just about all us for the week. It's been a bit of a quiet week for reports, so I went through the interwebs of the last 2 days trying to find out anything I could. Guys, don't forget, if you've got any report, no matter, even if it's a fail, you had an absolute donut. Don't forget to send them in to us because we will report if people want to know. Reminder, jump on fishaustralia.com.au.
No,
just .com. Yeah, you
all these little bad boys.
These guys are fantastic. They're well worth doing. Dylan's got a small business, supporting where you can. They're also available in the Fisherman's Shed. I think you guys are going to be thoroughly impressed by these. All right, guys. Signing out, episode 8.
How good's that?
Be good.
I'll pick them up.
Balloons.
I'll pick them up.
You will pick them up. Sweep them up.
I'll pick them up.